do I feel good today? What is up, DTL Universe? Welcome into your daily sports and sports betting brand of record. We call it Driving the Line. We are live every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, on demand on the weekend, 7 days a week. The grind never stops, even in the dog days of summer. Now, I've got the best crew in the business standing by, but before we do that, we always go over what we did yesterday on potentially the lightest day in sports, and it was not our best day. Euro 2024, you can go kick rocks. You guys don't want to score any goals? Copa, you can go kick rocks. United States, you can go kick rocks. Yes, I'm fired up today. Have a better game plan. Have better coaching. Have better referees. It all stunk last night. Or as the Z-Man says, sucked last night. Now, a little housekeeping today, every single Tuesday, live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It is DTL Golf. And if you watched this live last week, then you know we cashed a plus 7,000. We cashed a plus 4,000 at the first round leader. Who did that? Oh, you're looking at him. Both Thursday and Sunday. And if you followed us, you are rolling in it. Now, I can't do it without my partner, our 5-tool player, the man who grinds and grinds and grinds and has that big old fat smile that I love so very much. Please welcome the one and only Alan Bell. AB, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Look, I don't know much about soccer, but I realize that like every time there's a tournament, we always want to fire our coach. So it makes me laugh.
He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible.
It seems like they're always terrible, like the coach. Like we always want to fire him.
Well, it's the approach. It's the approach of the game. It's kind of like in football. If you play, remember the Ravens in 2000 AB when they just want to go defense,
Yeah.
but they had no offense. That's what he's playing right now. So you can't score without offense. That's why his approach sucks.
Oh God, that's awful. Yeah.
And it happened last night in my stadium. It happened at Arrowhead, the beloved Arrowhead, the stadium of champions. Which, by the way, I know it sucked. I couldn't believe they were doing it there. Patrick Mahomes says, "I'm not even showing up." Now, AB.
They should have had Taylor Swift just booing him on the way out. Like, get the hell out of here.
That would have been amazing. By the way, if Travis Kelce gets hurt, I want to put it on the record right now that I said it on July 2nd. He has gone back and forth to Europe 4 times, AB, and training camp starts in 3 weeks. I'm not a math major, but how in the world are you getting in shape for a football season when you're globetrotting? Oh, he went to Australia twice as well. And he went to Asia. How is he in shape to play football this fall?
he's doing knee highs when you're sitting on the plane and you're just raising your. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know, but we'll see. If he goes down the hamstring or if he goes down with anything, you say, Coach, you said it right.
Taylor,
come take care of me in my new $6 million house that you made me buy. All right, so many of you are in the chat. Hit that like button for us. It really helps the show grow even in the dog days. But you know why we don't take days off? Because we have people that believe in us. And also the man who believed in us more than anyone, this man right here, Howie Schwab. AB, what is the crew play of the day selections?
Interesting day in Major League Baseball. All right. So two games, 4 options. Reds, Yankees over 8.5. Reds, Yankees under 8.5. Brewers, Rockies over 11.5, or going with the under 11.5. That game, we had 2 out of 3 games go extra innings yesterday. Yeah.
Yep.
So on the launch pad again, those 4 options are in the chat. Vote in the poll. We'll update as we always do at the end of the show. But I'm so fascinated. Sorry, it took me a second to get that out. I'm so fascinated with this Brewers Rockies game because the Rockies jumped all over Milwaukee, and then, I mean, they came back like that. Like, it was so fast, right? It just goes to show how many runs. Like, you can just score runs so quickly out there, man.
It's amazing. Yeah, they were up 3-0 after 3. Then the Brewers go up 4-3. Then the Rockies scored 2. It just went back and forth. They scored 15 runs in the game, so it sailed to the over. And the Mets and the Nationals went to the over yesterday as well. All right, AB. We've got 2 guys that are chomping at the bit for a bounce back day. Are you ready?
Ready.
Are you ready?
The Orioles play today.
What's that?
The Orioles play today.
Oh, I may or may not have posted on social media a little weather graphic that's going to wet your whistle in a matter of moments. It's time for the picks. All right, shout out to our numbers guy, Rafael Esparza, who had an appointment this morning, so he is out today, but he will be a part of DTL Golf this afternoon. But, look who I have today. The best beard in the game. Soupy, good morning, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's been a tough day for U.S. soccer, but it's even been tougher, not for U.S. football, but for U.S. football. The international tournament, they've lost to Japan and they lost to Austria. We cannot lose in sports that we have invented. That is why there's even more pressure on USA basketball this summer.
I didn't know they played football in Austria, and I saw that story, or play football in Japan. That's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
Absolutely.
And it was embarrassing last night, Charles, the man from the Dirty, as I'm watching. And for about 20 minutes, they had that overhead shot that made me nauseous, so I had to turn it off. And then people said, oh, coach, they brought it. So I came back on, and it was the same lackluster performance. Uruguay, who didn't even need anything. They could have sat on the pitch and done nothing, and they still beat the United States. United States is going home. Embarrassing. We had BTTS. It should have hit 1,000 times and never did. Your thoughts on what happened yesterday, Charles?
Yeah, morning, Coach. Great chat. Yeah, pretty disgusting. What they had a 0.29 XG, knowing that they just need to score. It's in their hands to score as well, and then come out there and do that. But the goal that was allowed against them, why can't we get that in the Euros? Why can't we get that VAR technology in the Euros? If so, we would have about 10 extra goals right now. But, yeah, it was quite frustrating. Yesterday was frustrating, maybe the most frustrating day of the season for me. So it was just that first match was frustrating, the way it steamed up as well, and then we only got one goal. Frustrating. But new day, turn the page on to the next one.
Boy, and your energy is really making me feel like you're ready to turn the page today. It's real. I could feel it coming out of your pores.
He said disgusting. To me, I think that is the harshest thing I think Charles has ever said on this show. Called it disgusting.
But it was disgusting. And if you watch that non-offside call, oh my gosh, it was an offside. Clearly it was an offside. All right, don't get me fired up. I got a lot of energy today. Feeling really good today. All right, AB, I want to start with you. We're going to switch it up just a little bit today because we always do soccer first, but we need to switch up to soccer too. And we're doing a little something with the Orioles. And I know you would deep into the lab overnight. So I would love to start things off with you and you educate the audience and why Baltimore is our squad moving forward. Talk to me.
Baltimore Orioles today starting the series against the Seattle Mariners. So here are the two plays, and we're going to break down why. All right, we're gonna go for a mid here. All right, we're going to go and try to hit both because I think that we can. All right, first we're going to go Orioles Mariners over 7. Then we're also going to play Orioles Mariners first 5 under 3.5 runs plus 100. Let me tell you why. All right. So you take a look here at the weather report for what we have in Seattle. And you have got, do we have this up here, producer man, by any chance? All right. I guess we don't. All right. So we've got.
We're going to get there. We'll get there.
All right. So. Well, it's kind of tough. I kind of need to see it. But anyway, so we've got wind blowing from left field to right field, and it's going to be 5-mile-an-hour winds. It's not too terribly much. It's not real. There we go. All right. That makes doing the weather a whole lot more easier than memorizing it. 64 degrees. Excuse me. 64 degrees, 5-mile-an-hour winds, northwest, 55% humidity. Not much going on at all. But take a look at the pitching matchup. This is where we are going to play. All right. So we've got Grayson Rodriguez versus George Kirby. Okay. So take a look here. All right. 9-3, 7-5. You see the orange numbers. Those are where said pitcher has the advantage here. Both have low ERAs. Now, both will allow hits in this game. They don't give up much, right? Look at the home runs. All right. 0.7, 0.6. home runs per game. They just don't do it. They get a lot of strikeouts too, especially Grayson Rodriguez, which I know is going to be talked about in just a second. So you're going to see the beginning of this game, like why you have all these percentages here is to show you that the beginning of this game when the starters are there, it is going to be tough to get runs. You'll get some hits. You'll get one, run on each side, right? But it's difficult, man. And You look at the fly to ground ball percentage. George Kirby, he keeps the ball on the ground, man. Like, he just does not allow bombs to get out. So, going back to our picks, that's why I like the first 5 under 3.5 runs. But the second that either of these pitchers get out of the game, all right, that's the race today, is to get the starting pitcher out of the game. Because once they do, and they get to middle relief and bullpen, they're going to blow this thing apart. So that's why I like playing the first 5 with the starters, under the runs, middle relievers, closers, over the runs. So it looks weird on the screen, but that's exactly why we're playing it.
Couple of things from the chat, AB. Where can we find a wind weather report similar to what you are showing us? That's from John in the chat.
I'll tell you, well, I create that on my own, but look at our Google Drive. Like, we have our own DTL crew Google Drive open for everybody. I'll drop those in there, and I'll do it every day. Give me 2 minutes, and I'll put it in there. I'll drop the link in the chat, too.
Awesome. And Mark says Baltimore is a no-run first-inning machine when playing on the road. Kind of feeds into everything you're talking about, right? He says they'll be in my 3-teamer coming out shortly. You agree with that?
100%. Mark's exactly right. 100%. Yep.
Awesome. And thank you to Ninja. I live in Seattle. Game time temperature will be 72 degrees. And one of these days on BTT, I'll tell you the story about partying on my birthday in Seattle with The Rock. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. It was a hell of a night, though. It was a hell of a night, though. All right, so we start with Baltimore. That's our squad. We're going to be doing that every single day to follow along through the dog days of July. Great work by AB. So, Charles, now that we switch it up just a little bit, you feel that change? Do you feel that in your bones? I feel it, too. And today we got one play. We're going to go back to Euro 2024. We're putting it all on the line for the team that just beat the United States in football in under 20. Austria, take it on Turkey. Charles, you're up.
The final round of 16 match, it should be the best of the bunch. Austria is certainly not the type of team to park the bus and just try and play for penalties. Ralph Ragnick's side are a fully pressing unit looking to cause turnovers and create havoc in front of goal, which the Austrians have produced 6 goals in the group stage and actually look like a cohesive unit. Turkey they've been no slouches, also scoring 5 team goals of their own. Although they will be missing their star midfielder, the Crescent Stars are still full of quality throughout the pitch. Based on these teams' style of play, I cannot see another 0-0 final score. Both countries should go 100% for the victory and score goals today. So I'm going right back to the both teams to score. Austria versus Turkey, 3 p.m. Eastern.
We might have to keep our eye on you if there's no goals by one team today, because this is almost becoming – it's almost impossible mathematically for what's happening in this tournament right now. It's almost impossible.
Very frustrating, especially as it's very frustrating, especially what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the goals, and if you would have watched that, especially that first match yesterday, the way it steamed up, we got that opening. Both teams score -105. It closed at -135. The 2.25 was -105. It closed at 2.5 -110. It just went crazy, and then we saw one goal. Just frustrating. I don't even think the odds makers know what's going to happen. It's
that's why they call it gambling. That's why they call it betting. By the way, our main man, DG, he is in the chat right now. Any questions for him? We'll have an NBA topic a little bit later. He's our NBA guy. Put them in the chat. He will answer them for you in real time. By the way, DG will be hosting the next couple of days as I'll be on the road doing the John Deere Classic. Main feed, of course, ESPN+. Where else would I be? And Robert Dameron, part of DTL Golf. He's my partner this week for the John Deere Classic. We are everywhere. Soupy, I know you can hold down the fort while I'm gone a couple of days. That's why we built this crew. Now, as I come over to you, after AB's incredible display, you're also on this game as well. Talk to me.
Yeah, like as DG or AB showed that Grayson Rodriguez, 6.3 strikeouts per game. So why am I taking him at 7.5? That's because the Mariners just strike out so much. 25% on the year is absolutely the worst. 34% in their last 3 games. Oh, and they were last in strikeouts last year too. You're looking at these odds, to get 7.5 at -105 is a monster monster deal. Usually when you get a 7.5, it's always at plus odds. This just shows how much that the Mariners strike out. So it should be another one. And 34.5% career strikeout percentage for Grayson against the Mariners, when his career average is only 25%. So to be 9 points above the average, that is absolutely just incredible. That just shows how bad the Mariners are. And now we're going to go to the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. These two teams score a lot of runs early on. Dodgers are 3 in runs per first 5 innings, and the Diamondbacks are 5th. Two very bad pitchers. Ryan Nelson, he's allowed 4 or more runs in 6 starts this year. And Bobby Miller has done it twice, but he's only has 5 starts this year. So I think this is going to be a high-scoring game in general, but I'm going to take them in the first 5 today.
Yeah, both of those games are the 2 latest games on the docket tonight. 9:40 p.m. Eastern time for the Orioles and Seattle, and 10:10 p.m. Eastern time for Arizona and the Dodgers. B. Mills says, what time will be on the main feed for the John Deere Coach? Love having you on the call. Thank you, Bill Mills, very much. We're first. You go to ESPN, hit that main feed. I think it's going to be 7:30 a.m. Eastern, something like that, but I will tweet it out. We'll also have picks right here on the show, round by round. Did I mention we hit plus 7,000 last week? Did I mention we hit plus 4,000 last week? I believe that I did. Also, AB, you and I have been talking about it, and we feel like people are getting a little bit lazy here in the month of July. Have we not? So last week, we decided to have live picks on the show by me, and I think I hit every single one for those people who hashtag it pays to watch live. So I think we should start doing that again. What do you think, AB?
I think we should.
Thinks we should. A lot of people very succinct in their takes this morning. Very, right down the line. So I got 2 plays. If you're going to catch with the coach, you're going to do it with these 2 plays. Mets and Nationals over 9. The pitching matchup just leans into that. Because I think when sportsbooks see Manaea on the mound for the Mets, they see the name of what he used to be. He's not that guy anymore. So you put these 2 pitchers together. I love the over 9. They sailed to the over yesterday. 16 runs between these 2 teams. Then we're going to my beloved Kansas City, the Royals. Minus 125 over the Rays. This is another really good pitching matchup, which is why we're getting them at a quarter. But if Singer pitches well, he is nearly unhittable on certain days, and the Royals starting to pick up steam once again. So we're going to go Mets Nationals over 9, Royals minus 125 for all of you who get up and join us live. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. All right, I believe everybody has gone, correct? All the best bets are in. It's a bounce back Tuesday. But as you know, here at DTL, we're not just a sports betting brand. We try to make you smarter, sometimes tell stories, just have a good time to start your day. So it's time. And all of us are staying. All of us are staying today for Educate, Entertain. AB, we are into conspiracy theorists here at DTL, and this one I knew was right up your alley. So we talked yesterday about some of the new deals that are being done in the NBA as the new season started on July 1st. The Boston Celtics, and Soupy, I know you're fired up for this one too, but AB, the Boston Celtics made Jason Tatum the highest paid, the highest contract in the history of the league. 5 years, $315 million. Derek White, 4 years, $125 million. They spent almost $1 billion in the offseason. Then what did they do yesterday? They announced that they're going to sell the team. So, AB, did they take care of their players before they decided to put a majority stake up and say, hey, the new owners can worry about playing these guys? And also, twofold question. Should Jason Tatum be the highest paid player in the league? Your take.
Smart move by the Celtics. Get all that stuff done. Excuse me. Jesus Christ. Get all that stuff done. All right. And good God. And just finalize the sell and sell while they're high. Like, the Celtics are doing everything correct. The Lakers are morons and doing everything the opposite wrong way. That's why you notice nobody wants to go play over there. You notice veterans are running away from that disaster. But the Celtics are smart. They actually win championships, and they know what they're doing. So they've got these players locked in. They're going to sell the franchise. They're going to sell it at a high, all right? and they're going to get the job done. So that's what the Celtics do. That's why they win over there. Yeah, good job to them.
Should Jason Tatum be the highest paid player in your mind at over $60 million per on average?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. Like it's a hard question to answer because I feel like in the NBA it's going to change every 5 months, and I know that it does in the NFL too, but he's on top of the world right now, man. Pay him.
Right now, when you look at the odds, according to BetMGM, they are plus.
Oh, no, it'll be Bronny James. It'll be Bronny James will be the highest paid player in the NBA.
You watch. It'll probably happen. You watch. It'll probably happen.
With his 0 points a game. All right, sorry, keep going.
There was a lot of discussion yesterday about the situation out here in La La Land, and none of it's good. None of it's good, just like what AB just said. So the Celtics plus 300 to win it all. To win the East, plus 125. Hopefully they have that motivation, because if you're going to bet that and you're going to have that in your queue, because it's probably not going to go up, it's probably just going to go down. That's a big future to sit there for a full year at plus 125. Almost unbettable. Stoopy, this is your part of the country. You love the Northeast. You're a Connecticut guy. You live there. The Boston Celtics on top of the world paying these guys. So my 2 questions. Did they do it a little shady with the sale? And should Jason Tatum be that guy simply because he just won a championship?
I think, yeah, you got to pay Jason Tatum because of what he has done for the team. He's held down this team for a long time since he's gotten there. He does produce, especially he did it at the end of the playoffs. So, yeah, I think you had to pay him. And he's not going to be the highest paid player. Next year, someone else is going to be the highest paid player. And then the year after that, someone else is going to be the highest paid player. And all the Celtics are doing is casting while the iron is hot. They're basically being the Hawk Tuohy girl of NBA sales. When you're the champion, why not sell a majority stake in that team and make a ton of money? So I think it's just a smart move. They knew they were doing this, and they were just praying that they won the championship to elevate that market even higher.
DG says if you don't pay Tatum, someone else will. That is true.
Bingo.
Big Cheesy said Tatum is not a superstar, but that's the going rate right now for his stature. And think about it, we talked about James Harden yesterday, $35 million a year. A couple of years ago, that would have been a max salary. Now it's just about half of what Jason Tatum is going to be making. That's bananas. Yes, Soupy.
And let me say, if you're saying Jason Tatum's not a superstar, it's because he doesn't have to carry this team. This is a incredibly talented team. Jaylen Brown was the NBA Finals MVP. He has been probably Jaylen Brown would be the best player on a lot of teams. Now you have Derek White, was a great pickup for the Celtics. And now you have Drew Holiday, who has been a great point guard, not even have to doing it offensively all the time. He's been a great defensive point guard. So Jason Tatum doesn't need to be that superstar. He didn't need to be Luka Doncic and try to carry a team. He doesn't need to be LeBron James and try to carry a team. Jason Tatum has the pieces around him, and it just elevates his game. But around him, he just has the best pieces. That's why you don't think of him as that top tier superstar.
Ray Brown says a lot of Tatum haters out there. Well, Ray, not really. We're talking about a $60 million player. We're talking about top of the food chain. There's going to be a lot of criticism one way or the other based off of paying somebody that much money. AB, go.
All right. Taking the joking aside about LeBron James, like when this season starts, bet all of his props every game and bet him overs. And what I mean by that is that now that Klay Thompson didn't come and he just took the money, and it's going to be his last year there, all he's going to do is shoot. All he's going to do is shoot. He will dictate when this team wants to make a playoff run. He will dictate when this team wants to shut down the playoff run. He will shoot whenever he wants. He will get as many points as he can so that at the end of his career, it looks better and better and better when compared to Michael Jordan 10 years from now, 20 years from now. That's what he'll do. And I don't say that like joking. I don't say it flippant. Like, do it. Now that LeBron James is on that 1 year, take all of his props. He will shoot constantly.
There were some reports yesterday, AB, that now that Klay Thompson shunned him and shunned the Lakers, that now he's going to demand a max salary. And we've talked about it here on the show. You guys know how I feel about this. If he truly wanted to play with the Sun and be successful, he takes a minimum salary or $5 million a year, not 50. But that's the reports going on. And if that's the case, everything AB just said is true. But he's going to tarnish that legacy by playing on a team that's terrible, because you could sign 2 decent players for $50 to $55 million a year. Derek White's making $25 million plus. You could have 2 Derek Whites for that money. But apparently he doesn't want that to happen. Charles, let me come over to you, big boy, because there's a lot of talk going on now. Celtics, Lakers, blue bloods, so to speak, in the NBA. When you see this, because it's happened in soccer where somebody gets an exorbitant salary and you go, well, that seems like a lot. Should Jason Tatum have demanded and gotten that salary?
Absolutely. I think he's worth it. They go to the playoffs every year. They have a good team. They won the title. So that's just the going rate. It's just going to go up. So I absolutely think he was worth it. And it's kind of like the Gilbert Arenas story when he got that big contract. The owner asked him what he wanted. So it was probably maybe one of those situations where he come in there and kind of gave his number before they bounced out.
Can you imagine walking into an office and knowing the least you're going to get is $50 million? That's a meeting that I want to have. All right, now you guys know here at DTL, we absolutely love sports. It's what we get into. It's what we love. Some days are better than others, but there's some days that are more emotional than others. And yesterday, even though we tease a lot about Euro 2024, it means everything to these players, including Cristiano Ronaldo. And yesterday, he had a chance late in the game, penalty kick. He missed it. This was the image of him during extra time. The game wasn't even over yet, and he was in tears, brought to tears. And he said after the game, gentlemen, he said this, and I quote, "This will be my last Euro, of course, but I'm not moved by this. I'm moved by enthusiasm. I was sorry for the fans. I'll always give my best for this shirt, whether I miss it or not, and I'll do this my whole life. You have to take responsibility." I know we tease a lot, AB, about soccer and what it means around the world, but these players literally are playing for their country, and it means the world. So it got me to thinking last night, what has brought us to tears in our sports-loving life? Because it's everything for us. So, AB, I'm going to start with you. What is the sporting event that in your lifetime brought you to tears?
So, first off, I don't make fun of that at all. I respect the hell out of anybody who plays for a team, who knows what it means to be a member of a team and not themselves. I respect the hell out of Ronaldo having that respect. And what he said, 100%. Like, I am not saying that joking or flippant at all. Like, I respect the hell out of that, man. Like, I would ride with that dude. That's a foxhole guy. Now, to make it funny, what brought me to tears, go back, Tennessee, North Carolina, in the Music City Bowl. I cannot remember what year it was, 2008, 2009. Derek Dooley was the head coach. The team was terrible. He's an idiot. He's awful. All right. Tennessee's winning the Music City Bowl, which didn't matter to begin with. All right. It's a bowl game in Nashville. All right. Going in, driving in. All you got to do is stop North Carolina. All right. They did this against LSU as well. There's 17 people on the field on defense. The refs obviously call it. I can't give this words and describe it well enough. You'll just have to either know or kind of go back and see it. But essentially, Tennessee went from winning a bowl game to horrifically losing a bowl game in the easiest way to see possible. It was just so bad. I know that I didn't explain it well, but anybody that saw it, like, just go back, man. It's the funniest thing because the coaches are like, why do we have 17 people on the field? What is happening? You know, and it's like, and you still didn't stop them.
It's amazing. 2010, by the way, was that game,
Yeah.
AB. 2010. By the way, DG says AB needs to keep "he's an idiot." Maybe that'll be one of our next shirts, AB. He's an idiot. It's like, he sucks, man. I love that. All right. So we start with the Music City Bowl 2010. So, Soupy, let me come over to you because you love all kinds of different sports. What's one that's brought you to tears?
It definitely revolves this team behind me because the Yankees have given me some, obviously some great times, but there have been some pretty bad times. My first memory was the 95 ALDS Yankees Mariners. This is the first time that Don Mattingly is in the playoffs in his career, finally has a chance. And the Yankees, of course, lost in Game 5 on a game-winning or a walk-off hit by Edgar Martinez. Ken Griffey Jr. slides in, and it's over. And it was really depressing. I was a little kid at the time, but like I remember that being my first real baseball memory, so it was kind of depressing. And I felt even more worse when Don Mattingly retired the next year or that off season, and he never got his championship.
That is one player that all time I think people will never expect not to have won a World Series title. It certainly is. Great depressing story by you, Soupy. Thank you very much. Big Cheesy says Carrie Strug breaking her ankle in the Atlanta Olympics. That was certainly very sad. We want to know what you guys think. Put them into the chat. And it doesn't have to be sad. It could be, because my story that I have coming up is very, very good. Big Cheesy, and mine kind of ties in. He goes, losing the coach in the Super Bowl last year. I'm sure that brought you to tears. It brought me to tears also.
Coach, I was gonna say mine brought me to tears laughing at how much of an idiot Derek Dooley.
We got laughing, we got sadness. Charles, I can't even imagine you crying because you're always so like this. But
it might have been last night.
Yeah, it could have been last night as the United States sucked. So, Charles, what has brought you to tears?
How about the last Euros? Christian Eriksen dying on the pitch for almost 5 minutes, flatlining. And then that one shook me up. I'd never saw anything like that. And then he comes back a year later and scores after he has a pacemaker installed as well. So his very first international back, he scores a goal. But seeing him on that pitch, falling out and flatlining for almost 5 minutes, that was we've had some good ones, but that one shook me. Yeah,
that's a really good one. Yeah, he was dead. He died on that field and then come all the way back. That's a really, really good one. I had forgotten about that. So I have a couple, but my main one I'll get to. But I had a couple of honorable mentions, as Charles likes to say. Pat Tillman, you guys remember he quit the NFL to go into the military. They built a building for him on the base in Afghanistan where he can play pool, video games, things like that. It's the Pat Tillman Memorial, whatever. And he died in the line of duty. I actually got to play video games in that building when I went to Afghanistan in 2005. That was really emotional to see exactly where he went to and what he put himself through, because we're just stuck here in the United States. My other one, Ted Williams, 1999, getting driven onto the field at Red Sox Fenway Park and all those greats, but he was the great of the greats. That brought me to tears. But my number one story that brought me to tears is all of my professional lives and personal lives were brought together. Follow me on this. When the 49ers played the Chiefs, the first time in 50 years, and this is not about driving it on Big Cheesy, but as soon as the Chiefs won, I'm calling every connection I got. Can't find a ticket for less than $10,000. I call the lady who booked my very first ticket in WWE in 1999. She goes, Coach, you got to be very excited. Your Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl for the first time. You got a chance. I can't find a ticket. She goes, hold the phone. 10 minutes later, and many of you don't know this, but there is a gentleman that his entire job, he moves year by year by year. Wherever WrestleMania is going to be, he moves to that city, and he sets it all up for a year. So the man who set up WrestleMania in San Francisco gets on an email with me. 10 minutes later, I had 2 tickets in the Ticketmaster queue that each team gets that qualifies for the Super Bowl. So I got my tickets to the 49ers, and when I say personal life, my parents love to go to Texas, and they love to be in a what's it called? A camper. Campgrounds. They had this female couple that was next to them. They called and said, "Hey, Jonathan, they're going to the Super Bowl next week as well." Me and my son. I took my son. He was 9 at the time. You guys know all about JJ. We're standing in line to take a picture with the trophy. There's a couple, female couple, standing next to us. They hear us talking. All of a sudden, one of the ladies says, "What's your name?" I tell her. She goes, "We camped next to your parents last week in Texas." What are the odds of all of that coming together, being down 11, coming back and winning the Super Bowl with your son in attendance, and all of my professional life had to come together to make that happen? Tears don't even begin to describe what me and my son went through. We talk about it all the time, but it was an amazing story, an amazing time. So thank you to the man who ran WrestleMania in San Francisco all those years ago for hooking me up. So many of you in the chat. Jose Fernandez of the Marlins, really good story. D. Gordon, right after that, remember he hit the leadoff home run and he was just in tears running around the bases. I don't understand people that don't have sports as part of their lives. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Gentlemen, thank you for sharing that very, very much. All right, we have crossed the bottom of the hour. If you weren't with us at the top, don't worry about it. We go through every single pick. Plus, we like to cash home runs, which we did again yesterday. It's time for the whip around. DG wants to produce BTT at WrestleMania with Producer Man. That's going to happen. We're going to grow to that stage. I promise you that. All right, Charles, I'm starting with you because last night I got a little text from you. Not only do you give us a pick here, but you also give us honorable mentions, which we cashed again yesterday. So where are we going today, sir?
I'm going back to Pistol Pete, plus 275. I like to see runs, like you said, in that game with the Mets and the Nats as well. So Pistol Pete, the opportunity to get that additional bat in the ninth inning on the road as well. So, and then a honorable mention, let's go with Shohei. I like him in that spot against the D-backs as well. I'm expecting runs in that game. So Shohei, honorable mention.
Right now, once again, Shohei and Aaron Judge fighting for MVPs in their own leagues, and I think they're both going to do it again this year. Robbie Hockey says, great episode. Dog days don't matter. We still find a way. Thank you, Robbie. I like the positivity. AB, I'm coming over to you. Who's going to go the yard today?
Going to be a solar flare in the air tonight. And Cheesy's right. He might hit one from Atlanta all the way up to Nashville. Give him my man at plus 375.
He is built like a brick, you know what. Shout out to our man, by the way. If you know, you know. We're thinking about you too, pal. All right, Charles, where are we going to? Charles, Soupy, who's going to go to the yard today?
So the Yankees, they need to have a bounce back week. They're playing the Reds. The Reds are terrible because the next 9 games before the All-Star break are against Baltimore, Tampa Bay, and Boston. So they need to kind of a bounce back series. So I'm taking Aaron Judge tonight against Graham Ashford, who has a 5.48 ERA.
Did you say Ashford?
Ashford.
How about Ashcraft?
Ashcraft.
How about Ashcraft?
It is Ashcraft. You're
That's
right.
The question is, am I ever
autocorrect?
Wrong? That's the question.
It was autocorrect.
I'm kind of like an ombudsman. That's what my role is as the host of the show, is being an ombudsman. Matt says, great show, fellas. Appreciate the picks, knowledge, and the laughs. Matt, it doesn't have to be serious, man. And you're here every single day, and we appreciate that. We appreciate all of you because it's not easy on July 2nd to be here. AB, go.
All right. This is a true story, Charles, when he was talking about that soccer player that literally passed away on the pitch, right? This is we talk about our man Randall Mims. I was sitting there watching that game with him at a place called JB's Poorhouse. You can look it up. We were sitting there watching that game. He goes down and everyone's freaking out, and it's in the morning, right? He looks at me and he goes, I bet on that guy. I think I just killed a guy.
Oh my
legit.
God.
Yeah, like not kidding, just like I'm not gonna bet on it anymore. Soccer. I'm done.
Oh.
I remember that and just cracked up. I mean, I say it because the guy's fine, right? But like he was like,
but that's real though. Like that's part of betting. We feel like we affect things even though we don't, but that's real, AB.
Yeah. He was like,
gosh.
I think I just killed a guy betting.
Anytime goal scorer, never betting on Erickson again. Wow. That's a great story, AB. Soupy, real quick, where can we find you and all your stuff?
Bettingpros.com and fantasypros.com.
Fantasy. We're going to be sending something out very, very soon to all of you in the chat, everybody who watches, on what you want for the fall. And if there's enough interest in fantasy, then we just might do a show every week. You never know. But we are actively meeting as we speak, because the NFL will be here before we know it. Gentlemen, well done today. Thank you very much. It is now time to do the whip around because, Charles, I'm coming over to you, big boy. 10 seconds to left, one little nugget on each play, but you only like one of the Euro plays today. Talk to me.
Austria, Turkey, both teams to score. I cannot see another 0-0 match. I think both teams are going to press to score. At worst, we see 1-1, but I think 2-1 either way, maybe even the 2-2.
There is a game at noon Eastern time. Do you have any feeling on Romania, Netherlands at all?
I was kind of looking at the corners. Hey, here's another thing. Yellow cards have been coming in like crazy, especially in these round of 16s. These players are leaving it all on the line as well. So we're seeing these yellow cards rack up. So you may want to look at that market as well.
All right, there's a lot of different ways to bet every single game. And as Liddy said in the chat, AB, you warned everybody last week that right now Major League Baseball is almost becoming unhittable. He says, I got smashed last week too. What makes it worse is AB warned us. You're up, AB.
That's why we're going to take it back. We're going to take it simple. And the reason that we are betting the Orioles every day is that we're going to focus on one team and we're going to get better as we go. So we're going to have runs late in this game, might not have them early. So we're going to take the Orioles Mariners first 5 innings under 3.5 at plus 100. And then we're going to take the Orioles Mariners over 7 minus 110 for the full game. Think we've got a shot to nail them both.
By the way, AB, before I get to that, Soupy, let me come over to you. What do you like today?
Yeah, let's go with Dodgers. Diamondbacks, first 5 over 4.5. Ryan Nelson, Bobby Miller. They both have an ERA over 5, and both teams are top 5 in first runs scored in the first 5 innings. And then Grayson Rodriguez, I believe he already has a strikeout right now, and the game hasn't even started. But take him against a just bad Mariners lineup.
They cannot hit. Somehow they had like a 10-game lead a couple of weeks ago, and somebody in the chat said it's now down to 3 because their bats stink. But all we need 7 runs today in that game. That's all we need.
And the Astros are hot right now. Astros are just red hot right now.
Red hot right
now.
Yeah. Why did you say the Astros? Oh, you're the second. Never mind. I thought you were talking about they were playing them.
No.
I got you. AB. So apparently I throw out fantasy. I throw out Soupy wants to do fantasy. Everybody wants. Dave says, I'm bad at betting, but I'm a disaster at fantasy. Please do a fantasy show. I think a lot of people are like that. They love to bet, but fantasy scares them a little bit, and they just don't get into it as much as straight betting. Why do you think that is, AB?
The time. It's the time. That's the most difficult part, is that it actually takes a lot of time to do it. So, yeah. I'm one of those. I completely get it.
Every time I've ever played fantasy, whether it's a show league or whatever, that's exactly why I suck at it, Soupy, is because I'll get to like Sunday morning, I'll just play this guy, or I'll just play a quarterback who's not starting that week or who is off that week. And for some reason, just playing for 4 months for $800 just doesn't get me going. I need more juice. I got to find some juice, Soupy. You got to help me with that if we're going to do a fantasy show. Need some juice.
I got a couple leagues where, the prize is about a couple $1,000, so.
I said juice, Soupy. I didn't say just, a little extra juice. I want like 100 grand. No, I'm kidding. I'm never do one of those. Soupy, Charles, thank you very much. It's time for the closing bell. All right, so here are the choices, AB, for the Howie Schwab Crew play of the day. What are we playing together?
Reds, Yankees over 8.5. The Crew is feeling it here on an over between the Pinstripe Boys and the Reds up there in the Bronx. So, yep, going over 8.5 on this one, man.
Interesting. Ashcraft and Gill. Gill had been pretty good up until the last couple, and he's kind of fallen off a little bit. That tends to happen when you get to July and get closer to the All-Star break. And so we'll see. Hopefully we'll have runs today. So, AB, we have DTL Golf, and I don't know if I mentioned it at the top of the show, but do you know that I hit a plus 4,000 on Thursday last week and a plus 7,000 on Sunday last week?
Yeah.
Did you hear
so,
that?
And the reason, because I don't watch a ton of golf, but I'll say that in the comments on the weekend shows, all right, the on-demands, you were getting a ton of love on there. And that's where I saw it, man. So, I mean, congrats, dude. That's huge. Huge. Those are huge numbers, man.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you all for watching on the weekends. The numbers are really, really good. AB really grinds. And understand he does that all by himself. So he deserves props for that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a weekend show. Now, and on Sundays in the fall, we'll have our morning NFL show, AB. We're just going to have one. We'll do every game. And then we'll have our evening show, DTL After Dark Crew exclusive, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. I can't wait for that. Hopefully the next 2 months just roll by because I can't wait for that. I know you can't either.
Oh, I can't wait, man. Getting the no-fly zones ready to go already.
Oh. Everybody's already asked about the no-fly zones. They love it, love it, love it, love it. By the way, I mispronounced his name. Thank you, Gil. I say it Gil, and I always say Gil. I know that's wrong. And by
It's
the way,
tough.
What's
it's
that?
tough. It's a tough one. Yeah, because it's such a small, like, it's what, 3 letters, you know? But it's like, how can I mess this up? Oh, I messed it up. It's tough.
By the way, Big Cheesy said he's going to fade my picks this week because I'm on the call for the John Deere Classic. Do you think that's a good move, AB? Because I feel like I'm going to nail everything this week. Everything.
Anything that you bet over plus 5,000, I'm betting it.
Let's nail it again. And by the way, I had 2 picks to win last week. My other pick finished second. I finished 1-2 on my 2 picks, and he was plus 4,200 or something like that.
It's pretty good. Nailing a Rocket Mortgage Classic like that.
Let's go. Sometimes you got to pick yourself up. That's exactly what we do here. Thank you to all of you for tuning in live. AB, have a great day. Great job by you. And the weather graphics, it takes time, ladies and gentlemen. It takes time. Producer man, thank you for my one shot. It is now time for all of you to go out into the world. Enjoy your day. Pay it forward. Sometimes it's hot out here in Southern California. We're having a heat wave. That doesn't mean we stop the effort. And let's continue to do it together as we build and build and build and understand this. There is only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. Ryan Tucker, Lobo, my man from the Dirty Charles. Best beer in the game, Soupy. My man, AB, and producer man, always behind the scenes, making the show look like $1 million. I am the coach trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single day right here at Driving the Line. Good luck.